The Everest Award is presented to a person who has reached the heights of being a leader or legend through his or her actions, making a significant positive impact on business, the community, and quality of life within the Interstate 75 growth corridor. Each of our 24 Everest Award recipients has made their mark on the corridor from Dayton to Cincinnati. The history that travels with that stretch of interstate will set the stage for their stories, thanks to some clips from previous I-75 growth corridor videos. Two river cities, originally built on natural waterways, then connected by a canal, and later by rail, are today united by Interstate 75. Originally known as the Cincinnati-Dayton Expressway, ground for the interstate was broken in 1958 near Maud in Union Township. With the completion in late 1960, the power of the I-75 corridor came from moving goods faster and cheaper by truck. For residents, the power came from the ability to control their commute to and from work to their home. Driving the interstate became the new norm, and for many businesses along the I-75 corridor, the move to becoming regional was just beginning.
In 1946, when Wilbur Cohen joined his father and his uncle at Cohen Brothers, a Middletown scrap recycling company, there was no interstate. Yet Middletown was the ideal place to set up shop, a centralized location in industrial America with access to rivers, rail, and roads. Cohen's business savvy and philanthropic contributions made him a significant legacy in both Middletown and Cincinnati. Today, the fourth generation of the family runs the rebranded Cohen Recycling.
In 1976, when Jim Day purchased Esther Price candies from Esther herself, he promised to carry on the tradition, the name, and the quality. Referred to as Dayton's Candy Man, Day led and grew the iconic candy company into a regional leader.
Bill Krul has worked for Miller Valentine, one of Southwest Ohio's most prolific builders and developers, for 44 of the 50 years the company has been in business. The company started building highways and bridges in Dayton. Today, Miller Valentine is an 800-employee company with offices in Dayton, Cincinnati, and South Carolina.
Dr. Raj Soing's philosophy has always been that the best investment is to invest in good people. Headquartered in Dayton, many of Soing's people investments have developed various businesses involving many diverse technologies. The College of Business at Wright State University is named in honor of Dr. Soing's accomplishments and university support. The Indu and Raj Soing's Medical Center, part of the Kettering Health Network, opened its doors in 2012, largely to Soing's generosity.
Along with his two brothers, Dan Baker started a concrete flatwork business in 1968. Baker's first commercial job was the First National Bank in Hamilton. In the years since, under Dan Baker's leadership, Baker Concrete Construction has poured concrete from Dayton to Cincinnati and nationally and internationally. Located in Monroe, Baker continues to lead the business along with the values he learned from his grandfather: excellence, hard work, service, and integrity.
During the 70s and 80s, communities along I-75, anchored by the Tylersville and Cincinnati-Dayton Road interchanges, drew commerce and new residents who knew the location would play a big part in growth and expansion.
John Boehner, Cincinnati born and bred, is a longtime resident of Westchester and former Speaker of the House. He served constituents along the corridor as a Union Township trustee, a representative in the Ohio House, and as a member of the House of Representatives for Ohio's 8th Congressional District, which included several rural and suburban areas near Cincinnati and Dayton. As a resident and as a public servant, Boehner championed growth in the Cincinnati-Dayton corridor, including the addition of interchanges.
Plains Moving and Storage started with a single truck in downtown Cincinnati, 1921. 2 generations later, John Plains initiated the company's headquarters move to Westchester. Plains anticipated the growth along the corridor as well as the impact I-75 would make, reaching 54% of the U.S. population within a 600-mile drive.
Since 1978, Tom Humes and his Traditions Building and Development Group have been creating distinctive lifestyle communities in Cincinnati. In 1991, they planned and built Wetherington Golf and Country Club at the Tylersville exit in what was then Union Township. Site of the 1992 Homeorama, it won Builder Magazine's Grand Award winner for Best Master Plan Community of the Year. In 2004 and 5, Humes developed Harbortown Village and the preserves of Wetherington.
In 1979, roughly a decade before I-675 was built, Bob Ross purchased a Buick and a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Centerville. The dealerships became the Bob Ross Auto Group, and in 2010, Bob Ross's daughter, Janelle, became president. Her leadership to the organization in Cincinnati and Dayton has flourished as well. Janelle Ross sits on the University of Dayton Board of Trustees and the Cincinnati branch of the Federal Reserve Board of Cleveland and several charitable organizations.
A prime interstate location with thousands of acres of land available for development and a dream for what it could become was realized when the ribbon was cut on the Union Center Bridge. To those who held the vision, it was simple determination and perseverance. They made it happen, choosing to ignore those who said it couldn't be done.
Among those visionaries were Dick Alderson, Dave Gully, and Larry Schumacher, each playing an instrumental part in creating the Union Center interchange.
Local businessman and Union Township trustee at the time, Dick Alderson's business acumen, strategic thinking, and ability to bring the right people together were instrumental in creating Union Center where it is today. Alderson knew what the Union Center interchange would mean for business and residential growth alike in Westchester and along the I-75 corridor.
As a Westchester Township administrator, Dave Gully helped shape and implement the plan for Union Center by creating a war room that brought all the principles of the project together in one place to expedite the process. Later, as county administrator, Gully helped bring growth a little further north with commercial, residential, and retail development in Warren County.
Larry Schumacher moved his construction company to Westchester at a time when only a handful of others saw the possibilities of extensive business expansion along the corridor. He championed the vision of an interchange. His perseverance, determination, and personal investment were a key impetus in the building of Union Center.
Built with no government funds in only 8 months, more than 3,000 previously inaccessible acres were made available under a strategic development plan.
The Butler County Transportation Improvement District was established just prior to the Union Center construction. Authorized by the Ohio General Assembly to be used for the construction of Union Center and the Hamilton Connector, now known as State Route 129, the TID was formed by Butler County Commissioners in January of '94.
Business and residential growth continued, hastened by the new junction of State Route 129 at I-75.
Starting in the 1930s, the Kroger Employee Mutual Benefit Association, or KEMBA Credit Union, today has 90,000 members and serves more than 800 companies from 12 branches in Greater Cincinnati. Seeing the growth along the corridor in Westchester, Steve Beeler, former KEMBA Credit Union president and CEO, moved into a newly constructed headquarters in Union Center, serving both residents and businesses.
Denise Quinn is known as a successful plant manager, an active volunteer, and philanthropist. She participated in organizations that would assist the Miller Coors community. The Miller Coors plant was built in the 80s on top of the Miami Aquifer to tap into the exceptional water for brewing. Under Quinn's leadership, the plant tapped into the workforce along the corridor to provide higher-paying, skilled labor jobs, helping Miller Coors attract and retain employees from I-75 communities.
Jim Wainscott and others on his leadership team made the calculated decision to move the AK Steel corporate headquarters to Union Center. In doing so, AK Steel was able to add high tech to its headquarters and attract and retain top professionals who wanted the abundant amenities and the services available in Westchester and northern Cincinnati.
A growing force in communities up and down the corridor, First Financial Bank built a large branch in Union Center. Then under Claude Davis's 15 years as CEO, First Financial Bank more than quadrupled in size, moved its headquarters to Cincinnati, and expanded to new markets, including Dayton.
Jim Pancoast joined Premier Health in 1979 and led the health system as president and CEO during its growth of new hospitals, medical offices, plus the expansion of Miami Valley Hospital in Dayton and Middletown's Atrium Hospital campus, located on a hill overlooking I-75. A thoughtful leader, Pancoast always put the health of the community at the forefront and had the fortitude to take appropriate risks to accomplish the strategic goals of Premier.
Bob Murphy accepted a big challenge to get fans and corporate sponsors to believe a sports team could be successful in downtown Dayton. Murphy's vision has been a home run for the Dragons, bringing professional sports, its fans, and their money to Dayton. The Dragons sold every seat to every game in their inaugural season before the first pitch was even thrown in April 2000. Under the leadership of Bob Murphy, the sold-out streak continues as people from all over the region come to the ballpark for fun and entertainment.
For long-term sustainability, Liberty Township needed an interchange to provide the infrastructure needed to add commercial development, offsetting the rapid residential growth. 129 did not link to what was then Hamilton Mason Road and the acres of ready-to-develop land close to the interstate. A new interchange would open 600 acres for commercial development. The $43 million locally funded Liberty Way interchange opened in October of 2009 under budget and 6 months ahead of schedule. The eagerly awaited mixed-use Liberty Center opened in the fall of 2015 and quickly became a bustling town center.
Steiner & Associates is a firm consistently operating and delivering strong and sustainable retail and mixed-use developments across the country. At its head is Yamir Steiner, whose insight is not only about places, but people. Yamir saw the vision for the creation of a Liberty Township Town Center and worked with local officials and others to develop Liberty Center and its surrounding development.
Tom Urban, former regional CEO of Mercy Health Partners and retired CEO of Mercy Health Fairfield Hospital, truly cared about providing great health care through the facilities that he led. Urban understood that the commercial and residential growth was intertwined and believed that continued growth would be linked to the quality of health care available in the communities along the corridor.
Business development increased rapidly between I-275 and I-675, leading the Ohio Department of Transportation to approve another interchange along the corridor, Austin Boulevard. When Austin Boulevard opened in 2011, building construction was well underway at Austin Landing, a 142-acre mixed-use development. Projected to drive over 10 million square feet of new commercial development and thousands of new jobs in the immediate area, professional service firms and other businesses filled the Class A office space.
Larry Connor leads the Connor Group, a real estate investment firm located at Austin Boulevard. Connor is also a technology entrepreneur and an avid adventurist. He has been involved in ventures all over the world, yet he calls Dayton home for his business and a place to live. He's all about helping people and making lives better. Two local recipients of Connor's philanthropy are the Greater Dayton School for Underserved Students, which he founded, and the University of Dayton.
Steve Hightower founded Hightower's Petroleum Company in 1982. It is one of the premier wholesale petroleum distributors, continuing to outperform the industry with technology, ISO's quality standard, and a national distribution supply chain that includes Mexico and Canada. Hightower's continues to grow the family business from its Middletown headquarters. As a philanthropist, Hightower has served on the board of the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center, Regional Economic Development Initiative, and Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden, and National Park Foundation.
John Danis leads a family construction business that put its imprint on the Dayton skyline more than 100 years ago. John recalls riding around as a child, seeing construction sites posted with his family name. The experience made a strong impression, so much so that the company remains anchored in Dayton. Today, Danis Building Construction Company is a regional company specializing in industrial, public, and private projects, building many of the healthcare facilities in the region.
Jill Wilson has led Otterbein Senior Life through significant growth, a new name, and a rebrand. Located along 75 in Warren County, Otterbein Senior Life operates the largest retirement community in the Cincinnati-Dayton market. Her vision for a multi-generational master-planned community with an emphasis on quality architecture, walkability, and active living has come to fruition. Located off of the I-75 Monroe exit, Union Village includes Otterbein Senior Life and is expected to grow over the next 3 decades to 4,500 homes. Since 2012, the Westchester Liberty Chamber Alliance has recognized the leaders and the legends along the I-75 growth corridor, and we look forward to sharing more. The Everest Awards will return in 2022 on May the 5th.